You just watched me set a new world record for the fastest time to solve a 6-disc Towers of Hanoi, a puzzle that challenges you to move a stack of discs from one peg to another, one at a time. The catch being that you can't place a larger disc on top of a smaller one. In this video, I want to tell you the story of how I managed to break this record using some clever observations, a bit of code, and a lot of practice. It all started when I was little. As someone who has always been fascinated by computer science, I was introduced to the Towers of Hanoi puzzle early on. As in schools, the Towers of Hanoi is often used to teach the concept of recursion. Pretty soon, I had the entire algorithm memorized and could solve puzzles with stacks of any height, limited only by my patience, as while you add more discs, the number of moves required to solve the puzzle grows exponentially. To put this in perspective, a stack of 6 discs takes at least 63 moves to solve. But for a stack of 10 discs, that number goes up to 1023, and for a stack of 20 discs, that number exceeds 1,000,000. The more I played, the faster I became at solving it, so naturally I wondered, what's the fastest anyone has ever solved this puzzle? First result is an actual Guinness World Records entry, with generic photos featuring just about everything except for the Towers of Hanoi, telling us that the world record for a stack of 6 discs is just over 26 seconds. Not bad. A few pages of Google later, and I'm fairly confident that this is actually the fastest time using what I assume is a physical Towers of Hanoi set. However, I know from experience that human hands are better at certain things than others, and one thing they're great at is using technology. I bet if we look at attempts performed on a digital version of the game, we'll find even faster solves. And sure enough, after a bit of digging, I found what I believe to be the current fastest Towers of Hanoi solve, featuring Nat Balin moving a stack of 6 discs in just under 11 seconds. Wow, that is an incredible 5.78 moves per second, over twice the speed of the Guinness record. But I think there's an opportunity to do even better. Look at how they're inputting their moves. This player appears to be using a mobile app that allows them to swipe on the screen. That means that to move one piece, they place their finger down on the screen, slide it over, and then release. Additionally, assuming they are playing with just one finger, they then need to move their finger over to the next stack they want to pick from. While this is already remarkably efficient compared to moving physical discs, I see 2 steps we can cut out. Imagine if we could move a piece using just one down and up motion, a simple button press. There are only 6 possible moves in Towers of Hanoi, so we would only need 6 buttons to press. Most people have at least 6 fingers, so these controls are entirely possible to use. This would cut out both the swiping time and the repositioning time. With our optimal controls in mind, let's see if any existing Towers of Hanoi games out there use similar controls. After a while of searching, I found nothing. I guess if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. Let's get coding. It's about 4 months later and it's finally finished. I call it Towers of Hanoi Speedrun Edition, a website anyone can visit with an entirely open source codebase. On this new website, you can bind any 6 keys to correspond to the 6 possible moves. With just a little practice, I was able to solve a 3-stack like this. It's just like typing a 7-letter word, if that word was fdfxulf. But I can't celebrate just yet. I want to beat a world record here. And not just beat it, I want to make sure that anyone who comes across the site has a difficult time taking it from me. Let's set a goal. With Nat's record being 6 discs in 10.9 seconds, I want to solve 6 discs in less than 5 seconds. That's going to require me to complete over 12 moves per second. For comparison, remember that Nat's super speedy swipes clocked in an already incredibly fast 5.7 moves per second. Achieving this goal took a lot of training. But after months of practice, this happened. Yes! Let's go! Wow. Oh, that took so long. That is a time I'm happy with. 4.67 seconds. That is crazy. And over 13 moves per second. I mean, I was going for 12, so I did not expect that. That was an amazing time, and shortly after, I shaved off another 1/10 of a second. Ooh, alright. 4.59 seconds. Okay, even better. That is awesome. Let's watch that again in slow-mo. I had a hard time getting any faster than this, so I decided to stop here. It's still not technically as fast as I can type, but it's good enough for now and will probably only ever be broken by someone extremely committed. If you want to try this out yourself, find the publicly hosted site at towers.dot.i.online. And if you're curious to check out how it works, or want to add any features, find the open source repository on my GitHub. Additionally, feel free to join my Discord server to ask questions or just hang out. Oh, and as for the Guinness World Record, I don't want to claim to have beaten it since it's unclear if using a physical puzzle is a requirement, but at least it's likely a new record for the fastest solve on a digital game. I don't currently see an entry for that, but maybe there will be one someday.